How is he only a 90 overall? You have Richard Sherman, some old man who can't run for jack.
You need to put respect on Zach Ertz's name and a bunch of other tight ends that should be higher than Rob Gronkowski.
The man hasn't played since 2018. He's not going to be the NL MVP.
And then he goes onto an Instagram live where he seems to have been under the influence, smoking a cigar.
I don't think MVP is indicative of the best player in the league. Welcome back to Go Chat. We're so glad to have you guys back. We're here for big episode number 42. We got a lot of baseball players on this one. Tommy, who you going with for the number 42? You got a couple good options here.
I know. I wish you didn't go with me first because I'm honestly not sure. Obviously, there's two people here that are very deserving of it. You have Jackie Robinson. We all know the impact that he had well beyond baseball. And Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time. Can I go with two for this week?
No, you must pick.
Pick one.
Oh, my goodness. Well, this is pretty tough.
On delay.
Well, I will have to say that I think that Mariano Rivera, the all-time saves leader, he had 652, Hall of Famer, the only unanimous baseball player ever to get into the Hall of Fame, 13-time All-Star. He won 5 World Series with the Yankees. But then you have Jackie Robinson, everything that he did. I don't know. He won a
Literally going with 2 right now. That's what he's trying to do.
Tommy, pick one name right now. 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to have to go with Jackie Robinson, I think, just for his impact beyond baseball. But Mariano Rivera is the greatest at –
Okay. You made your choice, Tommy, okay? Matt, who you got?
It's got to be Jackie Robinson. I mean, if you don't say it's Jackie Robinson, I don't know what's going on. I don't think you're a baseball fan, to be honest. He not even for his stats, like just he broke the baseball color line in 1947, and he was the first African American to play in the MLB, of course, breaking the breaking the color line. It's just the impact he's had on so many lives too. So our lives too. Don't they have Jackie Robinson Day like once? Don't they all wear 42 like one game in the season?
Yep, they do.
Yeah, and then the movie that he had about him, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. But I'm gonna go with Jackie Robinson.
Good choice, Matt. Connor.
Guys, I'm gonna go Mariano Rivera. I'm gonna go Mo. 13-time All-Star. 5-time World Series champion. He's an All-Star MVP. He's a World Series MVP. Tommy alluded he was the only unanimous Hall of Famer. He has 652 career saves, a 2.2 career ERA, and over 1,000 strikeouts, where for a closer, that's a feat that's hard to do. So, I mean, absolutely, Jackie Robinson, undoubtedly, number 42 is amazing. But the only reason I'm going with Mariano Rivera is because I knew Jackie Robinson's name was going to be said, and I felt that Mariano Rivera both of these players deserve to be on this list for go to the number 42.
Yeah, both these players are, very talented in their own right, but I'm going to have to go with Jackie Robinson here. Obviously, the impact he had off the field was absolutely – it was one of the most historic moments in – this history for change and reform for African Americans, and he just did so much for them. Really started a movement to where, all the social changes in the 1960s and stuff like that. I'm not going to get too much into that, but at the end of the day, Jackie Robinson, he is one of the most historically best social reformers in all of history. I know that made absolutely no sense grammatically, but you get the point I'm trying to make, right? Jackie Robinson just did so much off the field to, bring the African-American community to where they are now. And obviously Jackie Robinson is one of the biggest parts of that. So I'm going with Jackie Robinson here. Plus, he was also a great player on the field. Let's not forget that. He was an MVP, 6-time All-Star, won a batting title, won a World Series in 1955. And he's a part of the Hall of Fame. I mean, this guy was also really good on the field. So let's not forget that.
I just feel like I want to make it known that I am by no means discrediting anything that Jackie Robinson did in his career, on the field, off the field, whatever. I just knew that Jackie Robinson's name was going to be said, and I felt that Mariano Rivera's name needed to be said as well.
Okay, any more comments before we move on to maybe a spicy segment next? I know Matt has a lot to say. Nope. All right.
Did he just use the word spicy?
Yeah.
It's not a chicken nugget, dude. It's not a chicken tender.
Listen, not only chicken nuggets can be spicy. You could have like spicy tacos, spicy quesadillas. Now we got a spicy segment coming up, so let's get right into that.
Welcome back to Goat Chat, where wait, guys. Third down or fourth down?
I think it was fourth.
It was fourth down, and Tom Brady didn't understand that. So now we're coming here to talk to you guys. Matt and I are on one side. I think Mike might be on the other. Is Tom Brady this season a top 10 quarterback? He has a little bit of dementia going on, I would say. But, I mean, we'll leave that aside. I also do want to mention, though, really quickly, I was the only person to say the Chicago Bears were going to win that game last night. I needed it desperately after the Padres lost. So, big win for the Bears, big win for myself.
You really, in all reality, you didn't need it, and you know you didn't.
Well, I did. So now let's get into it. Mike, is Tom Brady a top 10 quarterback?
I wouldn't say top 10 right now. I'll call him fringe top 10, like right outside, okay? And I think he still played pretty well this season. Obviously, last night was a disappointing performance, and, you know, they lost by 1 point. And I think Brady definitely could have played better, right? But I think he's good enough this year to be at least a fringe top 10 quarterback, right? Like you look at his game against the Chargers, he dropped 38 points and then 5 touchdowns over 300 yards. He was amazing that game. And, you know, I know it's an if, but if his offensive line didn't commit so many penalties, I mean, that one drive where they literally went from like the 30-yard line in field goal range all the way back into their own territory, that was just awful. You see Brady going back to the sidelines and yelling at his offensive linemen because they honestly deserved it. But I still think Brady still has some gas left in the tank, but I think this is probably his last year to compete. And let's not forget that he was missing Chris Godwin and Scotty Miller last night. So 2 of his best receiving options.
One stat I just want to mention is that we're not seeing the same Tom Brady that we've seen over the years. I mean, he's thrown 4 pick sixes in his last 6 games, which is not something that we've ever seen from Tom Brady. I mean, his last throw as a New England Patriot was a pick 6 to Logan Ryan. Threw a pick 6 in the opener against the Saints, and then he had another one against the Chargers. I mean, he's going down a trend where it looks like he signed a 2-year deal with Tampa Bay, but this could be his last season. I'm going to say Tom Brady is not even close to the top 10 in quarterbacks this season. I can name 10 quarterbacks right off the top of my head right now that are playing better. Matt, I'll let you get you want me to go ahead now?
Yeah.
All right. We got Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to Dak. Joe Burrow's played really good in his rookie season. I'll give Joe Burrow over Tom Brady.
3 straight 300-yard games. Just don't roll your eyes. Go ahead.
Kyler Murray, number 8. Big Ben, number 9. You could do Matt Ryan or Deshaun Watson at number 10. They can flip-flop right there. There you go. There's 10. Brady's nowhere close to any of them competing this season.
Where's Sam Darnold on that list?
Sam Darnold's not near the top, Tommy.
Why not?
Because you know what? We're not talking about the Jets. We're not talking about the Jets. Tommy, you're getting me started, man. You're getting me started. Go ahead, Matt. Why don't you give us your rundown on this topic?
Tom Brady, he's just that average quarterback. He's nothing special anymore. He's not the guy that everyone raved about a couple years ago in New England. He's probably, I would say, 15th, around there, like the middle of the pack. Like I said, average. Yes, he had that very great game against the Chargers. I will give him that. But other than that, nothing really special. I mean, you look at his completion percentage, you look at his QBR, his passer rating, you look at those kind of stats, and they just don't compare to, honestly, the guys in the top 10. Mahomes, Wilson, Rodgers, not in that order, I'm not saying, because Mahomes is not the best quarterback right now, but those are like the top tier guys this year. Josh Allen's been playing great. I have Jackson ahead of him, Dak, Goff. Goff has been very effective as a quarterback. Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Ryan Tannehill, Deshaun Watson, Big Ben, Matt Ryan. Derek Carr hasn't thrown a pick, so I'm putting him over that. And then Justin Herbert, who Justin Herbert statistically is playing better than Tom Brady right now, yes. And I get that he's a rookie and putting ahead of Tom Brady might be dumb, but right now, statistically, Justin Herbert is playing better than Tom Brady.
Tommy, we know you're not a huge football guy. I mean, you know who Sam Darnold is, so why don't you give us your rundown on this?
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with you guys. I just think that Tom's time has passed, unfortunately. And you think about, like, his whole situation there in New England. He had one of the best coaches. I mean, I don't know necessarily where Bill Belichick ranks within all time. He's certainly up there, right? And he had a great team around him during that time. And I'm not taking anything away from what he did in New England, but he had so many things that went right for him during that time that he may have even looked a little better than he was. You're seeing him go. He has to learn a new system there. And once again, I don't want to make it seem like Tom Brady wasn't as good. He's one of the best of all time, clearly. But, you know, he's towards the end of his career and his time's kind of passed. And you see younger guys coming in, like you mentioned, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, all those people, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. They're just above him right now. So, you know, I think he can still be productive, but it's not going to be at the same level that he was with the Patriots.
You know, I've said a couple things on this podcast that I've regretted saying. One of the biggest things is giving Matt all the crap I gave him about his argument for Aaron Rodgers for go to the number 12, because where I stand right now, I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers as a better overall quarterback than Tom Brady throughout their careers. And right now, honestly, I don't think it's that close. Go ahead, Mike. Bulge your eyes out. Come on, go ahead.
I mean, you're seeing Tom Brady at the twilight of his career. Aaron Rodgers is still in his prime, right? So it's unfair.
Whoa. Weren't you the guy who literally had him pass Dak, had him out of the elite column in our QB list?
I had him at like.
You probably said he was out of his prime.
I had him at 7. That's what I thought, but I'm being proved wrong this year. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is playing like a top 5 quarterback right now, no question. Okay,
it hasn't been this year with Aaron Rodgers though. He's been so consistent.
I was just saying that last year he wasn't too impressive to me, which is why I bumped him down a little bit, right? I thought the run game and the defense last year was more of the driving force for the Packers. While this year, Aaron Rodgers is leading the charge with a bunch of big stats, and the Packers are absolutely dominant right now because of how good Aaron Rodgers is. Okay, so let's not get that mistaken. At this point, obviously Aaron Rodgers is proving a lot of people wrong and proving that he's still an upper echelon quarterback, right? But it's definitely unfair to compare Brady to Rodgers at this point in their careers.
Okay, but the way you're comparing him is just looking at Super Bowls. The way I'm trying to compare him is talking about overall quarterback, where we throw in all the stats involved. Tom Brady, yes, he's the most accomplished quarterback, no doubt. I'm not going to discredit him. But there's a defense and an offense, and you can't say Brady is – well, yes, you can say Brady's a six-time Super Bowl champion, but you can't say he's the reason why they won the Super Bowl every year. Some years, yes, he probably was. But I do give credit to Tom Brady, but I give a lot of credit to Bill Belichick and those defenses that he had out there. But when we're talking about overall quarterback who's played better statistically, we're taking only Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers statistically is a better quarterback. He's way more talented than Tom Brady.
Is it time? I know Tom Brady's 3-2 in his first year in Tampa Bay, but can we finally call Tom Brady a system quarterback? Is it time that we can say that?
I'm just gonna wait to see how the year goes out. I don't want to call him a system quarterback. I'm just gonna wait till the year goes out, see what happens. Maybe next year, see what happens.
We're still only 5 games into the season, right? 5 games into pretty much polar opposite system than what Tom Brady had in New England. I don't know why you're giving me that face. It's true.
Can't say 5 games into the
Tampa Bay's offense, it's more of a vertical passing offense, while in New England, it was more of a shorter passing offense, more efficient offense, right?
You're saying Tampa Bay is a vertical passing offense. He's still throwing the ball 5 yards down the field.
I don't know what game you're looking at, but every throw I see him making is 10 yards down the field on a comeback to Mike Evans or a seam up the middle to Gronk. So
You realize in 2 games, Mike Evans only had 2 receptions, so I don't know where Mike Evans.
I don't know what you're talking.
he had like 8 catches last game.
Okay, but the game before that, he
had 2 catches for 2 yards with 2 touchdowns.
He's on my fantasy team. I know
10 yards down the field. Come on, dude.
Okay, but you look at Scotty Miller last game, not this game against the Bears, but against the Chargers. He had like 5 for 78.
But you also can't say that we're only 5 games into the season because that's a quarter of the way through the NFL season. We're already talking about early season MVPs. And Tom Brady's nowhere near the top of that list. So therefore, we can talk about how it's already 5 weeks into the season.
Okay, just to let you know, he is averaging 7.3 yards per attempt, so it's not 5 yards down the field.
Oh, my God.
2 away.
Oh, my God.
3 away. So
it's not like he's dumping off the ball.
But if you're saying he's going
down the
10
field
yards or down the seam, it should be a lot higher. What I'm saying is Tom Brady isn't known for his strong arm.
I know he's known for his smarts and winning, which is why I still think he's the better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. I understand that there's 2 sides of the ball and that you can't give him all the credit for the 6 Super Bowls. I know that Bill Belichick is the best coach in NFL history, right? But Tom Brady's the best quarterback in NFL history as well. Both of those statements can be true at the same time.
This conversation isn't about whether it's Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers.
You just made it that.
Okay, but the conversation is Tom Brady a top 10 quarterback? You said last night in our group chat he is a top 10 quarterback.
He was fringe top 10 quarterback, and this is
fringe anyway. I don't even care. I'll argue.
Now
anything.
you come back on here today after saying that last night and say that he's fringe top 10 after saying last night.
He did say he's fringe top 10, but I still don't think he's fringe top 10 anyway.
I mean, right, I'd say I put him like 11 to 13. You're putting him at 15, so I don't think we're, having much discrepancy there, Matt. I just think that he's still more than capable of winning games. I still think Tampa Bay is more than capable of winning a Super Bowl with Brady under center this year. Next year, we'll have a different conversation because it does seem like Brady has regressed a little bit, but at the end of the day, I still think Brady is more than good enough to lead Tampa Bay to a lot of wins this year.
I think if we see New England have a better overall record than Tampa Bay this season, Tom Brady's resume and his stature in the NFL may go down just a peg. Similar to how with LeBron James in the NBA, when he went to LA and said after he came back from his injury that they were going to win a championship and they missed the playoffs. His stature, in my mind, went down, similar to where if Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay with these top-of-the-line receivers and Gronk and a solid defense and really good running backs, and he doesn't produce, that stature is going to fall. I don't care how many Super Bowl rings he has or anything. He's not going to be as high on the list if he can't succeed in a better scenario overall than New England.
Well, one play I do want to bring up is the third down before the mistaken fourth down where Brady apparently thought it was third down, but Arians refuted that claim after the game. But Brady delivered a great ball to Gronk right to his hands up here, and Gronk it went through his hands, and Chicago almost picked it off. So Gronk is definitely not what he once was. O.J. Howard being out for the year is a big blow to the Tampa Bay offense. But we'll see what happens when Chris Godwin comes back, because really Tampa Bay hasn't had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both on the field fully healthy. The first week, Mike Evans was banged up with a hamstring injury. He was not a full go. And Chris Godwin has been out since then. So we'll see what happens there. But any other comments?
If he's such a great quarterback, he doesn't need excuses. That's literally the final point I want to say. I'm sick of hearing excuses that he doesn't have any weapons, because guys like Aaron Rodgers goes out with three undrafted wide receivers, and he delivers an unbelievable game with like an 80% completion percentage, and 100% completion percentage throwing to his running backs and his tight ends. So I don't want to hear about the no weapons. He's a quarterback. I get that they dropped the ball, and the Packers do actually have a bigger drop ball percentage than the Buccaneers, one of the highest in the league. But Tom Brady should be able to win games, whoever the heck is catching for him. If Tom Brady's this great of a good quarterback.
Yes, but once again, we're comparing prime Aaron Rodgers to twilight of his career Tom Brady. At this point, Tom Brady was throwing to no one in the prime of his career too. Besides Gronk, who did he really have? Gronk and Randy Moss. Other than those two?
Randy Moss, Deion Branch, Wes Welker.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Bragging about Deion Branch
was at the top of his career in New England.
Deion
What do you mean,
Branch was a good receiver.
He had. Are we forgetting Wes Welker, probably the best slot receiver of all time?
Let's not forget Aaron Hernandez. Rest in peace to him. That whole case was just awful, but still, Aaron Hernandez was a good tight end.
We can't say he had no one in the prime of his career, dude.
He really didn't have much.
Oh
and
my
we
God.
can talk about Rodgers, Donald Driver. Are you kidding me? Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Devontae Adams. Now it's not like Rodgers has been throwing the scrubs. Obviously, right now with Devontae Adams out and Al Lazard out.
Are you saying that crew of receivers in Green Bay is better than the crew in New England?
I'm not saying that. I'm not. I never.
Then how are you comparing the two?
Weapons were better than what Tom Brady had in New England. I'm just saying that they are somewhat comparable, right? And Tom Brady did not have those guys for a long time. Randy Moss was not in New England for a long time.
I wish Aaron Rodgers had that safety tight end target like Rob Gronkowski. We saw Robert Tonyan catch 3 touchdowns. Who knows what he would have done with Gronk? But we can't tell. We can't just throw people on a team and tell what's going to happen.
If you're saying that the crew in Green Bay wide receiver side wasn't as good as the crew in New England, then what is your point?
Well, Tom Brady has won 5 more Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers, right? I'm saying that the crew in Green Bay is still really good. It's comparable to what Tom Brady had over his 20-plus years in New England. Anyways, I think that kind of wraps up this segment. We've taken a real deep dive into this. Let's jump right into our next segment. Poland Spring. It will quench your thirst.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. The postseason is rolling on. We have one of the matchups set in the NL. We have the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Atlanta Braves in the NLCS. And at the time that we're recording the episode, we don't know the ALCS yet. We know it's going to be the Houston Astros against either the Yankees or the Rays. So you know that Connor and I, we'd love to see a rematch with Yankees-Astros. But it's been an exciting week again. We're going to get into it. First, we're going to start with the National League, the matchup that's already set. Guys, what do you think? I'll start with you, Mike.
I think the Braves have played really well throughout this postseason. Their pitching is absolutely phenomenal, which is I'm kind of surprised about. Ian Anderson has been pitching fantastic. Max Fried and all those other guys on that staff. So we're going to see this series if they could slow down the hot Dodgers offense. Personally, I don't think so. I think the Braves could take 2 games off the Dodgers, but not more than that. I still got the Dodgers winning the series, and I still got them winning the World Series. They are looking fantastic.
For sure, Mike. Who do you have, Connor? What do you think?
Well, just quick disclaimer is interesting thing about Ian Anderson is he played baseball 20 minutes from me. So, I mean, I watched him play in like a sectional game before my team played. It's really cool to see someone from around me playing this well early on in the career. I was very surprised by the Dodgers-Padres series. I didn't expect it to be a sweep. Now, I mean, obviously, Cody Bellinger robbing that home run of Tatis, we could be talking about a different series because that's a huge momentum shifter. But, I mean, Bellinger made the play and they wound up going on to sweep. I expected more from the Padres. I'm excited for the Dodgers-Braves series. Freddie Freeman has looked really, really good just all throughout this season. I still don't think they have enough to slow down the Dodgers, though. I'm going to have to agree with Mike there.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, who do you have?
Also, another fun fact is Patrick Corbin actually went to my rival high school.
Well, we're not talking about the Nationals, so it's fine.
I just wanted to point it out. You said Ian Anderson. Also, Breonna Stewart went to that same school, and Alex Tuck also went to another rival school. But I think the Dodgers are going to win. I don't think the Braves are going to be able to slow down this team. You know, I will do my Dodgers, baby, voice in a little while. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Dodgers here.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. I think the Dodgers, I think they're the best team in baseball. I hate to say it. I think that the Yankees can certainly compete with them. The Rays can as well. But I think that the Dodgers are the best team. They have the best pitching. They got Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw. And, there's other teams that stack up with them, but I just think their team overall with Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts, and they're a great lineup. I just think they're much better. So.
Your voice sped up there again. You lagged a little bit. That was funny.
Oh, I apologize.
Tommy, I mean, I know you do not like the Houston Astros. Are you surprised by what you're seeing in the playoffs?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to cut you off. What the hell are you celebrating for, Matt Cain?
Because I picked the Astros. Come on.
You think the Astros what?
I picked the Astros to win both series.
Well, seriously.
Series.
Go ahead, Tommy. We're going to cut him off because he's talking gibberish.
Yeah, so I am surprised a little bit. I thought that Oakland was gonna advance to the ALCS, but I'm not in the sense that it's the same lineup that made it to the World Series last year. And their pitching, it's nowhere near as good as it was last year, especially because of the injury of Justin Verlander and then obviously the departure of Garrett Cole. But they're still a great team, and it's not a given that the Yankees or Rays would beat them. I think that they could go to the World Series. I certainly hope that it's not the case because they don't deserve it whatsoever. But I'm not surprised. They're still a really good team.
Tommy, I'm going to have to disagree with you there for just a second. You can't say that they don't deserve it because absolutely last season and the seasons prior before they were caught cheating, absolutely that is a shame on them. But I mean, pending they have been 100% clean this season, we can't say they don't deserve it. I mean, we can hold vengeances and everything, but at the end of the day, they're still playing the baseball games and they're winning. So, I mean, we can't say they don't deserve it.
No, you are right. But, I'm bitter. I'm a bitter Yankees fan. So, no, you are right about that, though. Hopefully they're playing the game clean. I think they are. And, they're going to put it past, put the whole situation behind them. And, it was 3 years ago, the year when they won the World Series. So it's time to move on from it. But you know me, I'm always going to be bitter about that season. But
do you think they could have won the World Series without cheating?
Yes, I certainly do. But, I don't like that played a really big factor into the whole year. But I certainly think that they could have, yes.
2017, that was the year Jose Altuve won the MVP, correct?
Yes.
He stole it from Aaron Judge?
He did steal it, yes.
That's unfortunate. I mean, Aaron Judge deserves to be an MVP in the league based on that season.
Okay, let's not talk about 3 years ago. Let's talk about right now. Matt, what do you think about the Astros so far?
I mean, I have to say I like it because, I'm right. And I like being right. So I think
if you like being right all the time, then why'd you go 0-4 last week in pick'ems?
I felt bad for Mike and Tommy. I really felt bad for Mike and Tommy because I was being mean to them, and I just really, I shot myself in the foot for them. All love here.
You didn't shot yourself in the foot for us. You shot yourself in the foot because you just screwed up.
All right, let's get back to
it's all love. It's all love.
No, it wasn't all love. You were yapping after those couple good weeks. Anyway,
is Mike talking about yapping? He's always the one that just doesn't stop talking.
Oh my God! Am I gonna have to use the mute button?
No mute buttons needed here. Let's jump right back into the Astros. Personally, with the Astros, I'm shocked with what they're doing right now. Their pitching has been good enough for them to win games, while their hitting has been absolutely red hot. They're catching fire at the right time, and I think it's an Astros revenge tour. They got talked all this baloney and trash about them in the offseason with the Dodgers and the Yankees. and with Trevor Bauer and everyone, right? But now that, they're proving people that, you could call it a fluke in 2017, but they are a really talented team nonetheless, right? And they've gone all the way to the ALCS this year, handicapped with no Verlander and Cole leaving the offseason. So I think what Houston is doing right now is really good. Plus, they're missing Yordan Alvarez and also their closer, Robert Ozuna. So what Houston is doing right now is really impressive, and I feel like they have a chance against the Rays or the Yankees.
Yeah, well, I guess that's going to kind of wrap up the baseball series, guys. Just avoid that awkward silence there. It's been a really long week school-wise. I can talk for all of us. So, I mean, end of the week, we're just happy to be bringing you guys some sports. We may be a little drained. We're going to get into our pick'em segment, though. We're going to dive into that one next.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We got the GOAT picks. Standings are up right now. We don't know the Lakers Heat game yet, but we do know that the Dodgers beat the Padres, Rays beat the Yankees, and what was our other game?
Bears
beat the Buccaneers.
This much.
And so we're gonna go right into it. We had NCAA football last week. We got it this week too. We got Virginia Tech going down to Chapel Hill to play the UNC Tar Heels. Number 19 Virginia Tech and number 8 UNC. Connor, you're at the top of the standings and you're going to be there forever. Who is going to win this game?
I'm going to go Virginia Tech. I think the quarterback of North Carolina, Sam Howell, his touchdown interception ratio right now is 3-3 through 2 games. I think the interceptions they're going to catch up to him here in this game. Virginia's going to win this game. They're going to knock off the number 8 seed North Carolina Tar Heels.
It's going to be a great game, great ACC match, but I'm going to have to go with the North Carolina Tar Heels. I honestly think they've looked pretty good so far through the season at 2-0, both teams 2-0. So, and I'm just happy you went with the underdog here because I could take a win. Tommy, who are you going to go with?
Yeah, this is really a tough one. I'm going to go Virginia Tech. I think that they're going to pull the upset. I almost went with UNC, but I just think that, they don't have any fans there in UNC, right? So that's not going to play a factor with them being at home. I just think that the Hokies are going to come in and get the win.
Mike?
I'm going to go with UNC here. And you were talking about the touchdown to interception ratio for the North Carolina quarterback, but the Virginia quarterback has the exact same ratio, 1-to-1, right? And he's threw for half as many yards. So that kind of argument came back to bite you in the butt. So I'm going to go with UNC here. UNC for the win, baby. Let's go.
All right. We'll be heading into the NFL. We got 2 NFL games we're picking. Panthers, Falcons. The Falcons still haven't won a game. Blew 2 of them, and the Panthers kind of surprised me, to be honest. I think they're sitting at 2-2 record. Connor, who are you going to go with?
The Falcons definitely deserve to have a win in the NFL, and unfortunately they don't. They're going to get it here. They're going to get it here this week. The Falcons are going to beat the Panthers.
I'm going to go with – I think this is going to be a very close game, and I think it might – I don't think Julio is going to play, but I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think Calvin Ridley was shut down by Jair Alexander. Shout out to him last game. He's not going to be shut down this game with that Panthers defense. I don't think they're that good. And the Falcons are due for a win, like you said, Connor. Tommy, who are you going to pick?
See, this is tough. I feel like the Falcons, they are going to break their slide, but I'm going to go with the Panthers. I just think they're going to keep it rolling. They're going to improve to 3-2. It's going to be a close game, I think, but I'm going to go with Carolina.
And Mike?
This is such a tight game. The line is even here, but I'm going to go with the Panthers as well. I think they shut down DeAndre Hopkins last game, 7 for 41, and I think we all can agree that Calvin Ridley is no DeAndre Hopkins. They held the Cardinals offense to only 21 points while scoring 31 on a Cardinals defense that, has been better than most have projected. So I just think that there's something going on in Carolina where they're not necessarily the most talented team, but they're going to win this game against Atlanta.
And the final game we have is the battle of 3-1 teams, the Indianapolis Colts at the Cleveland Browns. Good matchup, Connor. Who do you have?
Both the offenses have been really good for these teams to start the season. What separates these two teams is the defense. And I think the Colts defense is going to step up this week. They're going to get their team to 4-1.
Yeah, we actually picked the Colts game last week and the Bears game last week. So we've kind of had a Bears-Colts theme going on here, especially Bears with BDN. Of course, I got to get that in an episode. But
I was so shocked that you didn't bring him up in that Brady segment. Instead, you brought up your guy Rodgers.
Yeah, because Rodgers is better than Brady. But anyways, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts too. I think their defense is fantastic. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. I have them in a fantasy league. Not the one that we're in that we got called out in, but I got them in one.
Don't worry, Jack. We're coming back.
Tommy, who do you have this game?
I'm going to go with the Browns. I don't know. I just think that they're going to come out ready to go. Baker Mayfield's going to lead them to a victory. I don't have too much to say about it, but I don't know.
Baker Mayfield doesn't lead anyone to victories.
He's going to do it. I don't know.
I trust him more with a baseball bat than a football.
There you go.
Like,
whatever. The more I thought about this, the more I'm siding towards the Colts, and I'm going to roll with the Colts. I think Cleveland got a good matchup against Dallas last week. They play absolutely no defense. They're the Swiss cheese without the Swedes. They're just a massive hole everywhere. So basically they're going from the worst defense in the NFL to the best defense this year with the Indianapolis Colts. And I think the Colts will hopefully find some success in their offense, just like they did the week before against the Bears. I'm taking the Colts here.
and that's our final game, right? We only have one more, but
we're going to do an MLB game. We're going to do ALCS game 1, but got to wait for Rays Yankees. Got to wait for Garrett Cole to pitch a perfect game tonight.
That's right.
Glass now is pitching 120 pitch shutout game on 2 days rest.
No,
Glass is gonna pitch 120 pitches on 2 days rest. His arm's gonna fall off, dude.
You know, we could just pick it now if you want, because we know it's going to be a Yankees-Astros rematch.
Well, I'm going to go Yankees.
Send this to freezing cold takes once this comes back to bite both of them in the behind.
So, Mike, who do you have tonight? Do you have the Rays?
Oh, no, I think the Yankees are going to win, but I'm not guaranteeing a victory. The Rays are a very good team. That's the reason why they were the #1 seed.
I would send this video of freezing cold takes, but I already sent the Kawhi's better than LeBron, and the Shane Bieber is going to have a really good match, and they haven't gotten back to me. So
that's true.
Maybe
okay, listen, Kawhi wasn't, freezing cold. It wasn't freezing cold. He's still the second best player in the league, but Shane Bieber one was freezing cold. Like, it was like straight out the freezer, like freezer burn type cold. I mean, I don't know how he did that though.
Let's not keep boring these people with Mike's voice.
All right,
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're at 37 minutes. Do you want to respond to agree to disagree?
Yes. Can we respond to agree to disagree?
We're going to respond to agree to disagree. Who wants to start? Who wants to start at the round table?
I really don't care that
Matt,
much.
Your name was the name that was.
My name was dropped. I don't know what I said, honestly, in the episode. Thank you for watching that, Jack. Shout out to you.
We appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. I don't remember what I said exactly. I know I got Josh Jacobs. But, man, I'm coming back. I changed my name. I made a couple trades. I got Aaron Rodgers. So, I'm coming back. I want to be on top of this league. Will I be? I don't know. But you can't come for my fantasy football resume, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is that Jack just strives to be at the top at all these free leagues where I have money put into leagues that I pay much more attention to. So, I mean, if he wants to sit at the top of this league, I'll let him have it. I'm going to do everything I can to put my money where the mouth is, though.
I mean, it speaks a lot that you had Derrick Henry starting last week. Tommy's had Saquon Barkley in the lineup since week 2.
It shows you how much I pay attention to it. But, hey, I made some trades. People tried to veto them, but they didn't get vetoed. We'll see if it improves the team. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'll start paying more attention. I apologize.
I will make a promise right now to agree to disagree, dribbling around, Marab.
That's it.
Goat Chat's coming back. Okay, we may be 7 through or 8 through 12 or whatever right now.
We're so bad right now. Like we're just feeding off Tommy's team right now.
No, but you know what the good thing is? Connor and I play each other this week.
One of us is getting a win.
That's right. We're good.
Yes.
I got a win against Connor, 94-93.
It's awful. If I played a running back instead of Derrick Henry, I win.
Oh my God! You didn't take Derrick Henry out of your lineup.
Dude, I just don't pay attention to it. All right, guys.
Okay, listen, we're stepping it up right now. I'm tired of all this shit talking from A to D. I don't really care that much because we deserve it. We are absolute dogs right now. Anyways, we're coming back, baby. Peace out.